Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, my Honorable Mr. Budira Rijal and all my friends I front of. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rijal Rais Fadilah. I was born in Bandung, 18 August 2000. I live in Majalaya, precisely in Sanghelang village. I am one of the students at one of the institute in Bandung, that is the National Technology Institute of Informatic Engineering. My student number 15 218 104. Today, our presentation how to stop Covid-19. As we all know, Covid-19 is trending around the world, including our country Indonesia. So check out my presentation, hopefully it's useful. On this video, I will discuss information about Covid-19. The things I will discuss are 1. What is the Covid? 2. Covid data in the world. 3. Covid data in Indonesia. 4. Influence on Indonesian. 5. How to Covid-19 based on WHO recommendation. 6. If we follow the suggestion from WHO. That is very important idea that I will give to all of you about this Covid-19. The first one is Covid-19. Covid-19 is an infection disease caused by new discovered type of coronavirus. This new virus and the disease it caused was unknown before to the start of the outbreak in Wuhan, China in December 2019. Covid-19 is now a pandemic in many countries around the world because of the lack of community and government response to the virus and guidelines both in terms of facilities and others that are also less supportive. This virus is developing very rapidly in Indonesia. The virus attacks as various groups, but influence to the elderly. Even for the elderly are very susceptible to explore to this virus. This transmission through the air and get direct contact with objects, animals, and even humans. Symptoms that will be experienced general are fever, dry cough, and feeling tired. Other symptoms that are less common and may be experienced by some patients include angst and pains, nasal congestion, headaches, conjunctive, sore throat, dire, loss of sense or smell, skin rash or discomfort or finger of taste. Until we know when the virus will end, but at least by obeying government regulation, we at least have to break the change of distribution of Covid-19. Now, I will presentation Covid-19 data in the world. For as of now, this video I made, the number of infection positive Covid-19 virus in the world reached with a immortality rate people. Until some country or United States of America become the country most infected by Covid-19 virus with people. In second place was Brazil and third place was India with certainly very sad to read news like this. Now, our presentation Covid-19 in Indonesia. As the current date this video is made, the number of positive virus Covid in Indonesia reach people with a death rate people. East Java is the province with the most positive Covid rates with, and the second place is DKI Jakarta provinsi with and followed by South Sulawesi with my province, West Java, reach. Okay, now how do you feel while you see the data that showered earlier? It must be sad. So we are out the suffering from the COVID-19 virus. Why do I say? Because until now the vaccine virus has not been found in still the testing phase and will be produced later this year. If it is true that the vaccine certainly very happy and will be produced later this year, we will continue to this COVID-19 pandemic. Very sad. Okay, now I will present about COVID influence on Indonesia. I have 4 points and stay here. Okay, number 1, the first influence in Indonesia in the sector economy. Not only in Indonesia, but maybe throughout the world. In the first quarter of 2020, economic growth in Indonesia grew negative. Certainly not easy to live back in this economic sector. Number 2, all activities out at home are reasonable considering that there is a suggestion not to leave the house. So many people access job, entertainment and education through information technology, which make it difficult to develop. In Indonesia, going to school alone students are still less smart. Let alone not going to school, resulting students are lazy to learn, but we must understand by the situation like this. Okay. This is number 3, unemployment is increasing in Indonesia. The impact of COVID-19 has caused some factories to close due to the advice of the government to keep its citizens from spreading the very damaging coronavirus. The number of layoffs that occurred in Indonesia reached 6 million. West Java, Banten, East Java, Jakarta being the area that did the most layoff. And number 4, PSBB or large-scale social restriction in Indonesia. Indonesia is currently implementing to PSBB to break the COVID-19 chain to spread, with result in all activities at some such as work, school, religious activities, and his prohibited from doing activities outside from home. Okay, now how do you feel when you see this data? Certainly very sad, but therefore I will give you 5 tips to avoid COVID-19 virus based on advice from WHO. Now, here are 5 tips to follow the recommendation of WHO to stop coronavirus. Number 1, wash your hands. Wash your hands often with clean water and soap. Or if you don't have one traveling outside, you can use an alcohol-based antiseptic because it can kill the virus in your hands. Because every activity that we do must use our hands. For example, holding a cell phone, opening the door with an happening touch. From that we can easily stick to the hands, and without us knowing, we immediately eat or hold and mouth from their germs will mend our bodies. Therefore, hand washing is very important, and it is recommendation to wash your hand with good and correct movement is in this picture. Okay, this number 2 is social distancing. At this time, of course, it is very important to keep the distance. The distance recommended by WHO in 1 meter in front, side and rear. 1 meter. The habit of Indonesian people who are famous for their hospitality in the world matter for the time being must be stopped so that the COVID-19 chain ends quickly. Okay. Next, number 3, using mask. Previously, using a mask was only recommended for people who were sick, just like coughing or runny nose, because it was more at risk of transmitting. But now, using a mask is highly recommended because the COVID virus is already higher, because many people are exposed to the COVID virus without symptoms. Therefore, the use of his mask strongly recommended. For the recommended use of mask, for example, N95 masks are only intended for medical personnel because they are more at risk or as the front word. While for the public, it is recommended to use 3-layer cloth masks or ordinary cloth masks. In this example, for masks and I'm using okay. Now, number 4, eat food, drink healthy, and exercise diligently. Eating healthy food and drink is certainly very important to maintain a healthy body condition and fit by exercise at home for the last 30 minutes a day. Considering COVID-19 is attacking the immune system of the human body, and therefore we have been highly recommended to continue to maintain the condition of our bodies. And last, number 5, stay at home for the time being. So best choice for us is to stay at home following the government's recommendation so that COVID-19 be quickly complicated and we can carry out activities and usually again. Okay, if you don't follow the WHO standard, and now you must always follow the government rules. Why? This is very important because we have to update more about the spread of COVID-19 so that it is most directed. And always be positive in thinking because it will make you calmer and not stressed. It will be good of our body. Number 3, and always believe in God that COVID-19 will be quickly resolved. If you don't follow all the recommendations that I submit, maybe this will happen. Very scared, and therefore follow my tips for you free from COVID-19 virus. This is all I can say. Hope you useful for all of us. Before I end this video, let us pray to God so that the COVID-19 pandemic quickly ends, praying according to His belief and praying start. Dan, I'm Rijal Fadilah, the 218 Informatic Engineering student, National Institute Teknologi Bandung. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.